Monsieur Dimitri from Paris. Welcome back on Enjoy Television. How are you, first of all?
I'm good. How are you?
We are very good. So here we are for a special event, Glitterbox in Padova tonight.
Yes.
Well, Glitterbox is an iconic party, is freedom, is a community, is something very special for a lot of people. But what is it, Glitterbox, for you?
Well, I mean, myself, I always say I am a music person. So the concept is the concept. What I care about is the music. And Simon Dunmore, who is the originator of this party, he used to be he is the founder of Defected and used to be the director of Defected, created this party against a lot of other clubbing events that were playing just very random techno all night with only beats, not much music. And he felt that there was a crowd and an audience that would be happy to hear songs with people singing and vocals and instruments and not just all night. So that was the starting point. And he went to a number of DJs that he had a connection with, including myself, and explained the project. And I was in from the first event, which was in Ibiza, I think maybe now 12 or 13 years ago. So it was a long process because at the beginning it was like very slow, and I'm happy to have been with them from the beginning and to see it evolve. And of course, people see what they want to see. So if they want to see the concept, they see the concept. But the initial point was just to play something different. And to this day, when you go to big places with lots of clubs like Ibiza or Berlin or even like, I don't know, like Malta or Croatia, most of the music is still very much techno.
Right.
And techno is huge. Techno is 98% of all music that is played in clubs. So I'm happy to be into a small, like 1 or 2% left musically.
Right. You started your career in the 80s, if I'm not wrong. You started with the radio, then you collaborate a lot with fashion brands like Chanel, working on the soundtrack for the Runaways show. So music and fashion has always been like two roads that goes together, but maybe they never collide. But which is the line that takes these two worlds together?
I always say that I'm really not interested in fashion. Fashion is something that is dictated by people, and people just follow it because they think that's what needs to be followed. I'm interested in style, and style, it can be everywhere or nowhere, and it's always a matter of taste and a matter of the taste that people, present themselves with. That's what is style, and music is the same thing. So I relate to a style that relates to my music. So my upbringing, my culture is very much starting in the 60s and the 70s, and I am relating to that music from that era. Right. Even if sometimes it's modern music that is inspired by those times, that's what for me makes the connection. It's style, it's not fashion. Fashion today, I really don't care, and please don't give me anything from the new trends. I don't want it. You would actually need to pay me
Right.
to wear the stuff that people do now. But it's always cycles. Fashion now is just trying to impress. It's always about like, oh, yeah, but it's so ugly. Yeah, I say, oh, because it's horrible. Why you pay money for it? So anyway, that's what it is. So people want to impress, so they dress like stupid clowns, and people actually see them on the streets. But that's not style. That's just
Right.
following some dumbass idea.
But when you started, who were your heroes? Who inspired you?
My music heroes?
Yes.
I think my music heroes and teachers,
Mentors, right?
yeah, they all came from the New York style of dance music. It was soul, like Philadelphia soul, then it was disco, then it was, hip hop, and then hip hop moved to electro, and one side of electro moved to house. And even though some things came from other cities, like disco came from Philadelphia, Motown Soul came from Detroit, New York was some kind of like melting pot where it would take all those influences and make them something special. Even places like Chicago and Detroit do recognize that although they invented a lot of styles, it wouldn't have been the same if New York didn't put them out to the world. And then from New York, it arrived in London, and London made it huge. So I think I started being into music before I could go to London and everything. So a lot of the stuff, it was just records. And I was seeing the records, I was looking at the labels, and a lot of the records that I liked had people in them from New York. So people like Larry Levan was a New York DJ, Francois K is a New York DJ, Tony Humphries is a New York DJ, Chef Pettibone is a New York DJ. So those are my teachers. They taught me how to produce, but just by listening to the records. They taught me how to mix records. I mean, I learned mixing by hearing Tony Humphries mixtapes from Kiss FM from the mid 80s. I was lucky enough to have a friend who had his brother in New York, and he would send tapes, like cassette tapes, and he would make copies for me, and I was listening to Tony Humphries mixing in 1985, and he was incredible. And I was like, wow, you can do this. I want to do the same. So I was practicing and trying to figure out how he did it. And those were my mentors.
Right. You said something, those time when you have to send a sample physically.
Yeah.
There's so different times from now where you just
Yeah, I
push
mean,
a
I
button
don't
and
think
you...
people today can understand how difficult, close to impossible it was to get information about music that was not top 40. Yes, Rolling Stones, okay. Yes, Sade, okay. Yes, Tears for Fears, all this, the big stuff from the 80s that are still, relevant today. Yeah, you had articles, you could read interviews of all those people, but everything that was not like major pop, no one cared about it. So unless you could travel, and again, I was young and traveling was costing crazy money back then. Yeah, there was no EasyJet, everything was like full price. So to travel to New York was a lot of money in the 90s, even in the 80s. So unless you had some connection, a friend, an uncle, family member living in a place where the music you like is happening, it was very difficult. And even if you had a connection in New York, they really had to be connected already with the music to know what was happening. So that was very difficult. And today, like in a few clicks, you have the whole history of any type of very small genre that you're into, which is good. But, us older people learned the hard way. And because it took time, every time we had a new piece of information, we cherished it like it was a gift from heaven, I didn't know Francois K was a DJ. I thought he was only a studio producer. So this was huge information for me, and many small bits. I didn't know that Bruce Forrest was DJing at this club called Better Days, and that T. Scott, which I've seen the name in the record labels, was the DJ before. And somebody tell me the story how one got out, the other one came in, and he was afraid, so he put the curtain to small stories. But every time I had a piece of information, it was so precious that even if I had this 30, 40 years ago, I still remember today. The thing with the internet and everything, information is great. You have it so quick that it's not so precious anymore. So you're like, okay, let me bookmark this and I'll come back to it. And that's how I think a lot of the music and the interest in music lost its value. Same with the record. Sometimes there was a record I heard somebody play 20 years ago, and it took me 20 years to find it. Now you find everything, YouTube, Spotify, everything. It's very easy. Only very few records you still need to find the physical thing. So back then, yes, sending a physical cassette by mail in an envelope from New York to Paris, going into a plane, going out of the plane, going to your house. this was incredible. It was magic. And today a lot of this magic is gone. Of course, it's better to have the information. I wish 40 years ago that I would have all of this, but maybe it wouldn't have impacted me the same way it did, because like I said, every small piece was a treasure. Today there's too many treasures and it becomes like, oh, not so interesting.
Everything's so fast, technology is so fast too. What do you think about AI? Is just a tool or is a game changer?
It's both. It's both because it's gonna change the game. I mean, it's already changed it. It's like every tool, some people use it badly and some other people use it wisely. I haven't gone too much into it, but I think I've read many producers who actually find positive things about it. But the way it's marketed is like, oh, say I want a song about the birthday of my girlfriend, there you go. It does it, and people are content with that. Fine with you. I mean, it's great for amateurs, But I'm not an amateur. I am been producing music for, 40 years now. So I look at the technical side of it. Yes, I want to do a vocal, but I want to do a demo, and I don't have right now a singer with me in the studio. So, hey, why not try this with AI? It's okay, it gives me an idea, or maybe it inspires me to do something. That's fine, that's what tools are made for. But people who just type stuff and put out music one after the other, I mean, it's like the Lil Louis song, like Coffee Machine spitting song after song. There's a song where he says that 40 years ago, 30 years ago, says, I saw the future, and we arrived to this. And maybe music is going to be, 70%, 80% of AI. We don't know. We don't know how people are going to relate to that. If they take it, fine, they take it, but there will still be people who are interested in human music. There will be maybe a very small percentage, but right now, who is interested in the music that I make? A very small percentage anyway. So I don't think this small percentage is gonna move from like, oh yes, AI is so good, we're gonna move to that. No, they're gonna stay where they are. And the people who could take anything from the radio and other streaming services, they don't really care. Music is becoming like, wallpaper. So if it's AI, if it's printed with the hand, or if it's a machine, they don't even know if it is, Right. Is this wood or is this wallpaper?
Right, you don't know.
They don't care. They just eat, it's a restaurant. So it's probably bad for the people who used to make those wallpaper things. And music that had a wallpaper sort of like concept, meaning like not to disturb people, background music for when they want to study, when they want to make the gym or they're running or whatever, yeah, it's gonna put these people maybe out of business. But this is not what I do. If it puts me out of business, then so it is. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's something that we can really fight against. So it's going to happen anyway. It's already happened. So if you cannot fight it, just use it the best you can for you. That's my thing. And there's too much money involved, but that's for that reason. If it's an economical reason, it will never go away. If they realize that no one is using anymore, maybe it will go away. It's like the tokens, like the internet thing. Like it was a huge thing with the crypto and yeah. Everybody was spending crazy money buying like a Twitter post or something, and now it's worth nothing. So let's see what happens. I think the technology is always an interesting tool to use. It's down to the people to use it well. So that's my resume about it.
What's the biggest challenge you face in your career?
The biggest what?
Challenge.
Many. I think as a DJ, the challenge is to somehow stay relevant to the people you play to. Because, I've been DJing for almost 40 years, but when I DJ, the people are always like 20 to 30, sometimes 40 over, but very rarely. So my audience is still the same age, but I'm getting older and older. So as you get older, everybody knows that maybe your interests change, or you think differently about life and what you want to do and how you do it. So as a people presenting music to other people, it's the challenge is to stay interesting for them and to still enjoy what you do. So that's probably the biggest challenge as a DJ, to be able to maintain what you like. What was the initial spark that made you become a DJ? For me, was sharing music and to just present to other people. And I'm trying to find new ways to keep music valuable.
Right.
Because music is losing its value. Like I said earlier, it's wallpaper to many people. So I'm trying to make music as exciting and valuable. And I do realize that the audience is shrinking, but as long as there is an audience, there will be people like me. So I'm still confident that although it's a challenge, it's still possible to just go on.
Right, which is not easy. Everything is not so easy because
Nothing
people,
is easy, but-
right? But people in the about DJ live, they just see like the cherry on top. They see
Yeah.
the moment you are in the DJ booth, you mixing, you do your gig, that's it. But behind that, there is a whole life involved in it.
Of
So,
course.
what's the price that people don't see?
People are not interested in seeing behind the curtain, you know. Like you said, they look at the DJ, they're like, oh, he's so cool, or he's so that. They, you know, even today we have a lot of like manufactured DJs. They're manufactured by agencies. They pick up some guy looking good or some girl, and whatever. They find a concept, they find a person to incarnate that concept. They teach them. If they don't know how to choose music, somebody chooses the music for them. I mean, you know, most people do not know that. It's an industry and there are a lot of puppets. Fine, it is what it is. But even those people, you know, they work. They don't do the same job as I do, because my job is not trying to go to the gym to look good. I mean, I'm not doing this for my job. My job is to try to get people interested in music. That's how I see my job. But maybe someone is looking at me like, oh, he's so cool because he's from Paris. That's enough maybe for them. For some people, maybe that's not. For me, that's not what I present. I'm trying to present music that I think is not presented enough by the other DJs. And my mission, if I have one, is to just, like I said, make music, keep it alive for music that is old, and keep it interesting and keep it valuable. So my job is to always listen to stuff, to work on it, to make edits, remixes, so that other DJs can play it. Why? Because the more DJs that play it, the more people can actually listen to it, and so on, so on. So I totally understand that I am from an era of 40 years ago, and most DJs don't do that today. They work on social networks, they try to attract people. I don't blame them, because there's not so much else to do. So I think you have to find an entry point. If the entry point is posting pasta recipes and saying you're also a DJ, why not? The point is to make people attracted to what is your main thing. So do what you can to attract the people to your main thing. But I feel that the music has globally disappeared from most of DJs. Music is just nothing. It's all about personality, you know, like a guy is touching his tits, or some girl is half naked, or people like put fire on the CDJs. I mean, it's all about, it's like fashion. It's all about impressing. People go, oh, look, you did that. You know, even if it's something stupid that DJs do or something like impressive, it's all about impressing people.
Right.
And then once you're impressed, okay, cool, what's next? Nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, is that there is not much culture of substance left. It's all about like, very quick show. You go to a lot of big clubs, major clubs in Ibiza or wherever, people like wait.
Right.
They don't dance, they wait, and there is the job, and they go, ah, and you know, like lighting and whatever. They get excited for 3 seconds, 4,
That's
maybe
it.
5, the job goes, They wait for the next one. So a lot of the DJs playing these big clubs is one drop, 1 minute of nothing, another drop, 1 minute of nothing, another drop, 1 minute of nothing, and it's like terrible, you know.
Well, those are entertainers. They are not DJs.
It's fine to be an entertainer, but this is not what I signed for.
What you are,
Yeah.
right?
This is not what I signed for, and they're much better entertainers than I will ever be, because that's not in me. You know, I'm not gonna go on stage and do crazy things, or sometimes I feel like people are expecting I have a hat and I pull a rabbit out of my hat. I'm not a magician. I'm playing music, and if that's not good for you, I'm sorry. You know, I can go, but you know, somebody brought me here, so
Right.
I'm trying to do what I know how to do, and I mean, you know, I can still feel a connection with the people, and there are places there's no point for me to play. The places, like I said, where it's drop after drop, there's no point. But I happen to also play those places, like the guy before me was playing drop after drop, or after me was playing drop after drop, and what I played connected with the people. So it is still possible. There are many ways to do it. And like I said, I mean, I'm not doing any kind of show. So I don't know how many people do it my way, but probably less and less. And, you know, it is what it is.
What makes a DJ a great DJ? What the difference between a regular DJ and a great DJ?
I don't think it really matters anymore. Now a great DJ is the guy with the most followers. That's what it is. And you know, the people, the promoters, or the talent bookers for the big clubs, they used to think, okay, we need a lineup. They would start with a musical style and make like book one main, you know, headliner, and then another headliner, and maybe like support acts that would sort of musically fit together. Now it's people from business schools doing the lineups. They're like, okay, we have this budget. We need one guy that can bring like 10,000 tickets, another guy that can bring 700 tickets, another guy that can bring, okay, that other room needs 7,000. You know, it's just numbers. Music has absolutely nothing to do. And you can see in the lineups, it doesn't make any sense. You just have like a combination of followers statistics. That's all there is. So what makes a great DJ for the clubs of today? Statistics. It used to be getting the room active and dancing, and maybe when the people leave, they remember they had a great night, and that would make a DJ maybe different, a good DJ different than a not so good DJ, that people will actually remember what happened. But now, what they remember is the fireworks, not the music. So,
what makes you fall in love of music?
That's a good question. I don't know.
After all these years, all those music, what makes you still fall in love?
I don't know. I'm still active, you know, digging for music I never was able to find when I was younger, trying to source people, other collectors like me who have maybe unreleased things. They have stuff that I will never play because nobody cares about it. But it excites me, like, oh, you have this mix unreleased, but there's already like 5 mixes of the same song, but I want the 6th that I don't have. So I don't know, I find it like it's a treasure hunt for me. There's always something new to discover, even in a style that you really know a lot about, you always learn new things. So for me, it's a journey. And the journey, I mean, is going from one point to the other point. And I think the travel between point A to B is as important as the destination. And that's what we miss today, because you go from A to B like in one click. And that idea of a journey, even in a DJ set, the idea of a journey is disappearing. And I think what makes it memorable, that you can remember it, is not just getting from A to B, is what happened between A to B. Because what happened between A to B is probably the most special thing that you cannot really replicate. It's a combination of many things, and that's what makes it, I would say that's what makes it human, first of all, because we are the sum of our experiences. And the more experiences you have, the richer you are. So music was something that, I don't know, like piqued my interest when I was very young. And I always was interested in how the magic is made. If you took me to a magician show when I was a kid with school, they would do cards and, oh, they made this disappear. My first thing is I want to learn how they make it. So with music is the same. I want to learn how music is made and which studio and which musician and which drum machine and how and which this, which that. That's my nature. And today I'm still like have this sort of like almost technical vision of music. Like if I listen to something, I'm trying to think even like subconsciously, oh, how was this made? Oh, this is a nice piano sound. People say, oh, the music is okay. So one thing I always say is, for me, it's impossible to have headphones with music and walk. I cannot do it. I can walk or I can listen to music. Together, I don't know. Because my brain is completely like into the music, so it doesn't work with the legs anymore. So, and I ask this question to many people, and a lot of the people who are, very deep, sometimes professionals about the music, really professionals, producers and stuff, they say the same. Yeah, it's just like it becomes impossible because it's such a huge thing for our brain to compute about every detail. So music really keeps me alive, That's why I'm still there.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Dimitri from Paris on Enjoy Television. One more time.